Christopher Loupin went missing months ago, has not been seen or heard from ever since. Today we are looking at the three most likely possibilities of what happened to him. Hello, my friends. Back in December of 2019, I first covered the story of Christopher Loupin, a 28-year-old man at the time, 29 now after his recent birthday, father of three girls who went missing from the Nebraska area near Kearney, specifically Elm Creek and the Four Seasons campground. Now there have been drones looking for him, search efforts, people on foot, posters posted, social media postings, people sharing their story, and yet the case seems to be relatively cold. We still do not know what happened to Chris or where he is at. I've studied these cases on and off now for a few years, taking quite an interest in them in hopes to help find somebody, and generally there are three possibilities that I believe may have happened. So let's take a look at those. The first and maybe least likely situation, but we can't rule it out, is that Chris may just have walked away. He may have left on his own will. Now, this could be a good thing in the fact that he is still out there somewhere living his life and, doing something. When I look into who Chris was, he was somebody who was raised in a relatively larger family. He's got a lot of brothers. He's got a caring mom who is dedicated to him, constantly trying to do anything she can to find him. And I don't see any record or history of any major rifts in their family, that they didn't get along or anything like that. So that he may have walked away and not even gave an update or said, hey, I'm okay, or I'm out here somewhere. That just doesn't seem likely. And then there's the fact that Chris is the father of three girls. In my digging, I did discover that a few years ago, Christopher got into a little bit of trouble. It looks like him and his dad might have got into some kind of legal trouble in the effort to spend time with his girls. Now, you can look at this in two different ways. You can look at it in the fact that, yeah, he might have been in some trouble. Maybe he still is in some trouble, and maybe that gave him incentive to go away, start a new life. But the fact that he's willing to go through about whatever it takes to be with his girls, it shows that he really cares about them. I think that he would never actually walk away from them. It just doesn't add up, my friends. So while we cannot rule it out, it is certainly possible that he's out there somewhere and he's just chosen to kind of step away from everything. The next possibility is that Christopher had an accident. He was out there in a campground area nearby the woods and nature, and it's totally possible in November that he was out there walking one time and may have slipped, possibly fallen into a body of water. Something may have accidentally happened to him and he may have been stuck. Unfortunately, if this did happen, enough time has passed now since November 17th when he disappeared to the current date. All the weather that's happened, it doesn't look likely that things are good if this did happen. But here's the fact, my friends. When people do have accidents and get stuck outside in nature and out there, generally they are found relatively quick, usually within a few weeks, if not days. There's been efforts to find him. There's been searches around water bodies around the area on foot, by drone, in the air. It just doesn't seem likely that he would have had an accident and not have been found right now, that we would have no clue where he's at, that the case would be left this cold. The third possibility, and I'm a little bit cautious to throw this one out here, but I think it needs to be said, my friends, is the fact that someone may have been involved in his disappearance. Maybe someone knows a little bit more than they are telling. Now, a few weeks ago, I talked about the fact that Chance Engelbert has also gone missing in nearby Nebraska. Chris has gone missing in Nebraska. Both of these men, young fathers that kind of fit the same target description. And there's other cases like this, my friend. So I hesitate a little bit to throw out some theory that there's some serial killer or somebody that's targeting these young fathers of this description. But it's entirely possible that somebody out there knows at least a little bit more information than the public does, and they don't want to say it. Maybe because they're involved directly or indirectly, but they don't want to be involved. Anyways, my friends, the fact is that one of these possibilities is very likely the outcome that leads to determining what happened to Chris, where he is. He is still out there. It's been months. I haven't seen enough of the news covering this story. I haven't seen police updates. I haven't seen nearly enough effort from those sources to justify a father of three and somebody with this family missing. Now, I have seen the private efforts of his family and his friends and the community. Those have been nonstop. They have not quit. They have not given up hope. But they need more help. They need more people to be talking about this, to be looking, whether it's in Nebraska or Wyoming or Colorado or even farther out. We need to be searching for Chris. We need to bring him home and let him be with his daughters and with his mother and with his brothers and his father and his family. So, my friends, I implore you to look into this case and to keep it in your minds. If you enjoy this story, want to stay up to date on it, make sure to hit the subscribe button. We will be updating the story and many others like it. My friends, I hope you have a good day. I hope you enjoy the weather and you are happy. I thank you as always for tuning in. I'll talk to you again, and as always, adios amigos.